Hi and welcome to another gaming video, and in today's video I'm taking a look at Call of Duty Black Ops Declassified. Now this is a PlayStation Vita game which I have already looked at once on this channel, but that was the single player, the campaign mode. Today I'm taking a look at the multiplayer. Now there's several different elements to this video. One, I don't play online games, so I'm not very good. Two, does the PlayStation Vita still have servers that are sort of up and running in 2023, considering it was released about 2011, 2012? And three, I don't play online games, and normal games I am not very good at either. So my son also takes a look at it. We see the difference between me and him. So we're going to go into, I'm going to show you some footage here. So this is the multiplayer screen, and you have to use Team Deathmatch because nothing else seems to work. And as you see, it picks up 6 players, and which I thought was pretty good, loads straight in. The other options there, so the free-for-all and everything else, didn't ever seem to be anybody in it. But the Team Deathmatch, there was someone in every time I went into it. So here we go, it's now loading, and we are looking at the container level. Some of the levels are sort of a bit shrunk down from regular Black Ops versions, but still pretty good. So we're just waiting for players. Doesn't take too long to load, and obviously we are loading into online servers, and here we go. So this is footage of me playing Call of Duty Black Ops Declassified online, and I'm dead. So I'm not a massive fan of online gaming for lots of reasons. I'm not a very sociable person, and I'm not very good at games. So you come up against these people who play it for hours and hours a day, absolute pros at it, and then there's me who, as you can see from this footage, just repeatedly dies or just doesn't seem to know what's going on or who's who. So yeah, I'm gonna be quiet for a little while, and you can watch some footage of me dying repeatedly. As you can see, graphically, it's a very good looking game. You can't knock the PlayStation Vita for graphics, and there's no lag. I've got a fairly decent internet connection. Gameplay is superb, and if you're into online gaming and you've got a Vita and you quite like the whole Call of Duty idea, then Black Ops Declassified is a good game. It's slated as one of the worst Black Ops games ever released. It's slated as one of the worst Call of Duty games ever released. Campaign mode is extremely short, but it's a good game. There aren't too many first-person shooters on the Vita, and while it isn't one of the best, Black Ops Declassified is okay. I think it really did come into its own when you went into multiplayer mode, and this is the first time I've done Black Ops online, well, Black Ops Declassified online. I've had the odd stint at other Black Ops online, but for me, I'm a single player, I'm a campaign guy. I like the whole storylines to go with it, rather than just in a room repeatedly shooting people, or in my case, repeatedly getting shot. So you could just enjoy the footage, enjoy the scenery. The graphics are pretty decent. This is a 2011-2012 machine, and I think the graphics sort of still stand up, especially if you're playing it on a Vita with its sort of 5-inch screen. Perhaps when you play it back on a monitor or a TV and you've blown it up to 13 to 30 inches, then yeah, maybe the graphics look a little bit stretched or whatever. But for a portable game and for a portable console, the Vita has absolutely outstanding graphics. There we go, I'm dead again. So I think the aim of this game is you have a set timer of how long the game will last. Obviously you can just keep respawning every time you die. And I think one of the teams has to get to 6,000 points. So it's either 6,000 points or the time runs out. And oh, there we go. So that is me. I've died quite a few times. 16 times I think. Yeah, and I only managed to kill one person. So that is Call of Duty Black Ops Declassified online. It's a team deathmatch, and that was me playing it. Now, like I said earlier in the video, I then roped my son in, who has featured on this channel once before, and he plays a lot of games, and he plays a lot of Call of Duty. So he said, well, let me have a go, let's see what it's like. So going to load it up now, same thing, go into team deathmatch, and it will find it'll find a number of players. So here he is, you can see him in the corner I think, yeah. He is playing Nuke House, which is a cut down version of Nuketown. Absolutely fantastic map on the other Call of Duty Black Ops, but let's see what Nuke House is like. As far as I remember, it's just one house, so there is no other side of the street like you get in Nuketown. So it's just about to load in, I think. And then we'll watch and see how he plays. So he's not really played the Vita before, he's more of a PC gamer, PlayStation 4. He did find the controls on the Vita just a little bit odd, just because he's not used to it. There's no triggers, you've just got the shoulder buttons. So here we go, this is Nuke House, and as you can see, it's quite a good looking map. If anyone who's played Call of Duty Black Ops or Black Ops 2, you'll know that Nuketown it looks pretty much like this. I think there is only one house. Not sure how many other players there are. So there's the bus, and there's the truck that you can climb into, yeah. Well, he seemed to have worked out a few more things than I had. He worked out how to throw a grenade, how to change weapons. I'm not sure what that little skull means. Does that mean it's an enemy floating around somewhere? Woo, flashbang. Well, he's already seemed to have beaten my playthrough. Oh, he died. Yeah, he's a bit more clued up on the whole Call of Duty thing, and I just play the single player campaign. Don't really go on to online. I'm not a fan of online gaming. I'm not particularly a fan of consoles that connect to the internet. I think they use that as an excuse, as I've mentioned many a times in videos, to lazily put out games that aren't quite finished so they can just patch them later. In terms of online gaming, I'm not a great gamer, so I spend most of my time dying. So I'm much happier with a campaign and a story and some cutscenes and working my way through a game at my own pace. So this is it looks like a fairly good replica of Nuketown. He seems to be doing pretty well on the whole playing front. I can't see how many times he's killed someone, but it's got to be at least 5 or 6. There's no slowdown or lag. Oh, he's just died. We've got decent internet connection, and the Vita has got more than enough horsepower to handle a game and play online with other people by the looks of it. And he did start off kind of saying that he wasn't keen on it, perhaps because it's just a bit different to playing it on a PS4. But so by the time he got halfway through playing, he really enjoyed it, and he thought that it was a good attempt. And if you're looking for portable COD, then it is a great option. There aren't that many portable versions of Call of Duty that are decent. There were a couple of games on the DS, but the DS does not handle Call of Duty very well at all. The controls were janky, the graphics were, well, just not fantastic. I think there was a version on the PSP. I think Road to Victory possibly was on the PSP. But the PSP doesn't handle first-person shooters very well, purely because of that lack of second stick. So that's some of the reason I bought a Vita, because I'm a big first-person shooter fan, and I wanted twin sticks to play it with. Oddly enough, Sony didn't seem to learn from their lesson. They gave the PSP shoulder buttons and one stick. When they brought the Vita out, I thought they may have given the Vita triggers as well as a second stick, but they didn't. Lack of triggers isn't a huge deal. It's not as big a deal as a lack of a second stick on the PSP. So the Vita can handle first-person shooters very well, as you can see. There are a number of others on there. Killzone Mercenaries is an absolutely killer game for the Vita. I'm trying to think what other first-person shooters there are. I know they made a Duke Nukem port. I think it's the Megaton edition. That was available on the Vita. There is a Resistance game. I think it's called Resistance Burning Skies. I can't remember if that's first or third person. But there are a number of other official games on the Vita that are sort of first person. And then if you've got a modded Vita, then you can get some other ports of Quake 2, Doom. There's even a Doom remake, which is like a Doom 2016 remake for the Vita. But so yeah, the Vita is pretty good for first-person shooters. We get back to Black Ops Declassified here, where my son taking over the reins and having a bit of a bash at multiplayer. It's a good game. Like I say, the multiplayer is probably what swung it for most people. This campaign was rather short. But its multiplayer is great. The graphics look superb, especially for the age of the game and the console. And yeah, my son seems to be getting on with it quite well. A lot better than I was. So I'm not sure what he's up to. He's got about 1 minute and 22 left. So either the timer will run out or one of them will get to 6,000. I'm just gonna be quiet for a little while. You can watch the rest of this footage without me yabbering on. Well, it looks like we've got about 20 seconds to go. I think the timer is going to run out before anybody hits the 6,000 target. Probably because nobody is going around killing me constantly. And as you can see, that is Call of Duty Black Ops Declassified multiplayer in 2023. The servers are still up, people are still playing it, and it is a fantastic game if you know what you're doing. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed this rather long video, and that's my footage of me playing, and that's his footage of him playing. So Call of Duty Black Ops Declassified multiplayer, it still works in 2023, but you do have to pick the team deathmatch. Hope you like that. Link, like, subscribe, enjoy.